There's something deeply unsettling about the idea that some murderers don't just leave a crime scene behind, they take something with them. A small object, a piece of clothing, a personal item that once belonged to the victim. Not for value, not for use, but for memory. And the real question is, why? Why would a human mind, already crossed into the darkest kind of violence, hold on to a physical reminder of it? Psychologists have studied this disturbing behavior for decades, and the answers are far more complex and more disturbing than simple cruelty. In many cases, these keepsakes are not about the object itself, they are about control. For a killer, the moment of taking a life can create a psychological shift where power, dominance, and fear become tangled together. The object becomes a symbol, a silent trophy that says, "I was there, I had control, I decided what happened." But that explanation alone doesn't cover everything. Some offenders describe something even stranger, attachment. Not love, not emotion in a normal sense, but a warped form of emotional imprinting. The item becomes a trigger for memory, allowing them to relive the event in their mind again and again. It's not about the object, it's about the feeling it unlocks. And that's what makes it so disturbing. Because while most people associate memory with photos, souvenirs, or sentimental keepsakes from happy moments, in these cases, memory is tied to violence, fear, and trauma. There are also cases where the keepsake represents possession, a belief, deeply distorted, that the victim is still somehow with them through the object. It becomes a private link to the crime, hidden from the world, known only to them. But here's something important to understand. This behavior is not random. It often appears in individuals with severe personality disorders, extreme detachment from empathy, or long histories of psychological disturbance. In some cases, it reflects a need to relive emotional intensity. In others, it's about preserving a moment where they felt absolute power. And yet, no explanation ever makes it normal. Because behind every souvenir is a real human life that was taken away. This is where the discomfort really settles in. These objects, hidden in drawers, boxes, or buried away, often sit in silence for years. Meanwhile, families are left searching for answers, holding on to memories of someone who should still be here. That contrast is what makes this topic so haunting. One side holds a secret, the other holds a loss. And between them lies something deeply human, but deeply broken. Criminal psychologists often say that these keepsakes can eventually become evidence, not just of the crime, but of the mindset behind it. When discovered, they don't just tell investigators what happened, they reveal how detached a person can become from basic human empathy. Still, it's important not to fall into the trap of fascination. Because the goal of understanding this behavior isn't to glorify it, it's to recognize how far the human mind can fall when empathy disappears. At the end of the day, these souvenirs are not symbols of power. They are reminders of a life that was stolen, and a mind that lost its way long before the crime ever happened.